So Monday, November 24th, and I have 25 eBay orders to ship out. Let's get to work. All right, I sold a number of Santa figurines that I just bought last week, and I listed them immediately since Christmas is just around the corner. First one we're pulling is Miami University, and I didn't put these in boxes with codes. I just kind of put them up on shelves, so we're gonna have to dig around a little bit. But this one, I'm pretty sure, is the first one that's sold. Let's see, is it Wishlist Santa? Yeah, the Miami University Wishlist Santa. I'm not going to take it out of the box, but you can see what it is. I got this at an auction, and I didn't have to pay much for it because it was Miami University, and I guess people thought it'd have a hard time selling, so I got it cheap. I got this for $1.50, and it sold for $34.99 for shipping. Next, we're going to C52. I sold some sweatshirts. I know I sold at least 2 of them in here, so let's go ahead and grab 2. These are the Carhartt sweatshirts I am selling for a friend that has the embroidery business, and we're splitting the money on them. Each one sold for $29.99 free shipping, and one of them is going to a viewer named Jessica. Jessica, thank you so much for the support, and I've got some stickers I'll throw in for you. Sold another Santa. This one is University of Cincinnati Fight Song Santa. And where I put it is the question. Let's see, I put a number of them up here, but I don't see it there. I put more up here. I think I ended up getting about a dozen of these. No, this isn't the fight song, but this one is super cool. Look at this. Power Play Rivalry, Ohio State. And they've got Michigan players trying to tackle him. That thing is just super cool. Let's see, I think all 3 of these are the Ohio State. Let's see, these are the Xavier Santas. Just give me like 20-30 more minutes and I'll find it. Here we go. Right down here. University of Cincinnati Fight Song Santa. I got this in the same auction, and I had to pay a little bit more for these. These I paid around $9 for, with all the fees and everything included. And it sold for the same price as the Miami one, $34.99 free shipping. Going to D62 next, I sold Philosophical Debates from the Great Courses. Let's see, that one says Great Debates. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, Great Philosophical Debates. The guidebook and the DVD, I've got less than $1 into those, and it sold for $18.99 for shipping. Next thing I'm shipping out is something that I've had for a very long time. I'd say close to a year. And, you know, the way I resell stuff, if I have something close to a year, it's basically an eternity. Somebody recently asked me what my average length of time an item sells in my store, and I did the math, and it's about 40 days. So I sell stuff pretty quickly. That fast turnaround model isn't for everybody, but personally, I like it. This is a spider stomping game. It's pretty cool. You put it on the floor and you actually step on the spiders, almost like a whack-a-mole type thing. I got this at a garage sale early in the spring. It was either, I think even been like February. I've had it a long time. I only had to pay $5 for it. I didn't know this, but I guess this is somehow connected to Marvel Comics. It has been used, but it's still sold for $39.99 free shipping. Coming to A33 next. Sold another hoodie. This one also going out to a viewer. Unlike the sweatshirts, this one has the hood, and it is going to a viewer named Buffy, and I will also throw in some stickers for you, Buffy. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. All right, we got another Santa going out. This one is University of Ohio Wishlist Santa. Let's see, we've got Kentucky, Cincinnati, and I thought I had some more Miami ones too. There we go. Ohio University Wishlist Santa. This one I only had to pay about $7 for, and it sold for $34.99 for shipping. All right, we're going to D22 next. Sold a polo. Let's see here. This is... Let me pull this box down because I think I've got... You know what? No, this is it. Dry fit large. New tags also from the embroidery deal. This one sold for $24.99 for shipping. Next sale is a cool one. It is in this box right here. These are the Looney Tunes mugs. I got at a church sale maybe 3 weeks ago. It was 6 mugs and I paid $15 for all 6. Lots of classic characters. We've got Pepe Le Pew, Tweety Bird. There's Woody Woodpecker. He is damaged. I'll make sure I pointed that out in the listing. Sylvester the Cat is right here. And here is Wile E. Coyote. And Taz was also in this. You guys saw me sell Taz last week. Taz brought $75. This lot of 5 brought $59.99 free shipping. Going to B52, I sold a little bottle of perfume right here. Let's see, Jim de Van Cleef in Arpels, Paris. I'm sure that I'm butchering that. It is only 2 milliliters. This is a teeny tiny itty bitty little bottle, and it's still sold for $24.99 free shipping. Okay, we're going to B32 next. I sold 2 things to the same buyer. They sent me an offer on each of these, and I was happy to take their offer because these have been sitting for a long time, 6 months, 9 months. It was in that big video game buy, and these are for the Tiger R Zone. Anybody growing up in the 90s might remember the Tiger R Zone. I believe this was Tiger's attempt at ripping off the Virtual Boy. They were trying to do something similar to what Nintendo is doing with the Virtual Boy, which in itself was a big flop. So then obviously these didn't take off. Buyer sent an offer for $15 each plus shipping, and they paid double shipping. So I will make sure that I go in there and calculate what it actually costs and then send them a refund for the difference for what they paid. Okay, we're coming down to B61 next. Sold some comics. I already know I will not be able to get all these with one hand, so we're just going to bring the whole box over. These are the Essential Comics. I got these at the same church sale where I found the Looney Tunes mugs. Books were 50 cents, and as soon as I saw these, I'm thinking to myself, these have got to be worth more than 50 cents each. And sure enough, they were. We have 8 of them. There's 8 of these books. And what they did was they put a bunch of comics in a big book, which I think is a pretty clever idea. So this way, somebody's getting essentially hundreds of comics in just 8 books and probably paying a lot less money for them. We got Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Thor, and Superman. Took a best offer on these 8 for $41 free shipping, and I only have $4 into them. Going to B32 next. I sold a power cord for Atari, and I've got multiple in here, so I'm gonna have to double check that I'm shipping the right one. Let's see, the code for the one that's sold is CO24471. This one right here. That sold for $19 free shipping. Okay, another wish list Santa for UC right here. We already pulled the fight song Santa, now we're pulling the wish list Santa for UC. This one also paid about $8 for, and it also sold for $34.99 free shipping. Sold a bobblehead. This is something I've also had for a very long time. I'm going to D21. At least 6 months, probably closer to 9 months I've had this for. This is a Cincinnati Reds stadium giveaway way back in 2003 when it was the inaugural season for Great American Ballpark. Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall. For my money, the greatest duo to ever call Reds games. Got this at a garage sale for a couple dollars, and it sold for $26 free shipping. We're coming to D52 next, and in this box I have a handful of Mac tools that I just got in an auction, and there's also some bits. And it wasn't a complete set, but I was thinking to myself, you know, if I put these together, I think they're going to sell. Mac tools have some pretty good value compared to just, you know, the cheap tools you see at like Home Depot and Lowe's sometimes. These aren't just your entry-level, you know, run-of-the-mill household tools. These do cost significantly more money when they're new, and this little set of 5 sold for $34.99 free shipping. I've got less than a bucket of those. All right, another Santa. Let's see, this one is University of Xavier, or maybe it's just Xavier University. Also a Cincinnati school, and this is not the wish list Santa, not the fight song Santa, it's just Xavier Santa. This one I've got about $6 into, sold for $31 free shipping. Okay, next thing is another tool. It is a Maddox ball joint service kit. I got it at Goodwill for $15 last week, and I need to find it first. Here it is. It's hiding between these two boxes. Very heavy. It has been used, but everything looked to be complete in the case. It sold for $59.99 for shipping. All right, I sold another one of these Nikes. I guess I could have just pulled them both. I didn't realize that I had sold two of these. This one I took an offer on for $22 for shipping. We're coming to C61 next. I sold some bags, some empty bags. These are some kind of, promotional thing that the salespeople had. And these bags are Yves Saint Laurent, which is a very expensive perfume. Part of that big perfume buy. There was all kinds of stuff. There was boxes and bags and different promotional things in that lot that I bought. So I decided to go ahead and list these. Somebody did buy them for $25 free shipping. Going up here to A41 next. I sold a Wii charging station right here. This is for the Nyko. Actually, no. So the way this works is you take your standard Wiimote, you take off the back battery cover, and then you replace it with this rechargeable battery and this battery cover. Then you can recharge your Wiimotes, and you don't have to keep using AA batteries for them. This sold for $24.99 free shipping. Last thing we're pulling is another hoodie. It is a 2XL, and just like the other one, sold for $39.99 for shipping. It's Tuesday morning. Before I get started unpacking orders, I want to show you guys something that I noticed. I was in the eBay app and saw that they have this shortcut when I hit my eBay, and it says scan cards early access. My camera doesn't seem to want to focus, but you can kind of see here, scan cards early access. So we're going to see what this is all about. This is a card from my personal collection. This is a Corbin Carroll short print. It came from the holiday set, and you see he's got a candy cane for a bat. So we're going to see if this AI thing works. Take a photo of an item to scan, it says. So we're going to take the photo. I'm going to put it in frame a little bit better here. See what it does. All right, it is thinking. Let's see. So it says choose a matching card. Choose a match to get detailed like price trends and recent sales. That's funny. It gave me 3 options, and I think it's this one actually. So it's got the number. Obviously all the numbers are the same, but then there's different variations. So like the metallic, the base. This is saying base, and yes, it's the base, but it's also a short print, and I think it is the match. So we're going to hit that, and here it is. It's popping up some data. About a $4 card. Now that's interesting. I like that you can go straight to list this item, and it'll create a listing for it and just auto-generate all the stuff. No response from server. Great. Let's try again. Maybe they're still working out the kinks with this, but I just wanted to show it to you guys. If in case you sell cards, it might be a handy thing. Now let me see if I just do the regular photo. See, it's doing like a, there we go, image. Let's just test the regular eBay image search and see what happens. So it'll still pop it up. Look at that, 8.5 million results. There's no way that there's 8.5 million of this card. So it'll still generally search it for you, but it's also going to pull up a bunch of other stuff. Like this is not a match. You can see he doesn't have the Santa Claus hat. But yeah, maybe if they keep tinkering with the card thing, it'll work. I at least wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. If you sell cards, maybe mess around with that that scan thing, the scan card shortcut. And let me know in the comments if you've messed with it, if you've had any luck with it, and what your experience is with it. All right, time to pack some orders. First thing going out is another one of these University of Cincinnati Fight Song Santas. I might just get lucky and sell through these Santas before Christmas. That would be amazing. I've got about $8 into this one, sold for $34.99 free shipping. Sold another Nike Polo right up here. Well, let's see here. Having the same problem I had yesterday, is just getting one out without pulling a whole bunch of them, because there's definitely multiples of these polos. All right, I think I got it. Here we go. New with tags. This one was the best offer for $20 free shipping. Going up to A33 again, another hoodie, and I think this is my last one in this size. It's Carhartt 2XL, sold for $39.99 for shipping. All right, I was just showing you guys the Ohio State and Michigan rivalry right here, and lo and behold, 2 of them sold yesterday. If there's any Ohio State fans watching this, you guys will get a kick out of what I did in the title. I'll put it here on the screen. In my eBay title for the item, I put, you know, rivalry, you know, Buckeyes, Ohio State, and then I wanted to point out that, you know, there's Michigan players on it. So instead of writing Michigan with the M, I put a red X for the M, because that's what all the places around Columbus do the week of the game, which is this week. They play Saturday. So if you get on social media, the internet, wherever, you'll see a bunch of different businesses cross out the M in different things. It doesn't have to say Michigan. They just cross out the M in all kinds of things. Like, that's how serious this rivalry is. Anyways, let's pull both of them. This is the first one, and the second one is over here. I did have 3 of them total, so there's one left, and it would be awesome if it sold sometime this week. Each of these went for $79.99 free shipping. Next thing's in B52. It is another tiny bottle of perfume. This one right here. This is 8 milliliters. Tuscany EDT. It sold for $19.99 free shipping. Coming to D21 next. I sold the Canon camera that I found at an estate sale last weekend. Only had to pay $10 for this. It's the PowerShot A540, and it sold for $59.99 free shipping. Next thing is in D31. I found this at the same sale where I found the Canon camera. This is the Brannick device used to size feet. This is the women's edition, and it sold for $39.99 free shipping, and I have $2.50 into it. Going to D52 next. I sold the Mac Tools AR249. Let's see here. AR249 right here. Had to sell this as is for parts because it's missing a piece, and I got this in an auction for maybe $1 or $2. It was actually a huge lot of tools that I got, and this is one of them. So I don't have much into it. Took a best offer on this one for $31 free shipping. The last thing I'm shipping out is also in D52. It is a set of billiard balls. I got these from Goodwill last week, and I only had to pay $6 for them. These aren't high-end billiard balls or anything, but they still had some value. I think I listed these for like $45 or best offer. Somebody sent me an offer of $40 free shipping, and I accepted. It's Wednesday morning. I got 7 things to ship out. First is another one of these Xavier Santas, and just like the other one, it sold for $34.99 free shipping. Going to D22 again. It feels like every day this week I'm just shipping the same stuff over and over. It's like Groundhog Day, but I'm not mad about it because sales are sales. Another Nike Polo. This might be the last one. Nope, there's at least 1 or 2 more in there. This one was also best offer, $20 free shipping. We are going to C43 next. I sold Athenian Democracy of the Great Courses. It is the guidebook and DVD right here. I've got less than $1 into these, and they sold for $19.99 free shipping. Next one is a really cool sale. Let's come in here, and while we're in D31, we'll take a glance at this amazing leather football helmet that I found. I love this thing. That'll sell pretty soon, I think. It is hiding back here. The thing that sold. These are little nibs, I think they call them, for old school pins. I got this at a garage sale. It's been, I think, 2 months, maybe 3 months. I'm bad with time. But you see all these little nibs, and depending on which model you get with these things. This is the Hunt 102. Some of them go for some seriously good money. These right here, it wasn't a complete box. I think originally this thing had like 100 of them in here. I counted them out. There are 60 in here, and I think I listed it around 40 bucks or so. Took a best offer for $36 free shipping. Next thing's a ColecoVision in the box. Box was in great shape, and this was missing one or two things. You know, I think it was just the RF modulator it was missing. But other than that, it was good to go. Part of the big video game buy. This one sold for $179.99 free shipping. All right, back to D22. Didn't realize I sold two things out of here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it is this one. It's a Nike quarter zip. Yeah, Nike quarter zip. Size small. Yep. Also took a best offer on this one for $31 free shipping. Okay, last thing I'm packing up today is a hat. It is the Knights of Columbus hat that I found. What's it been? About a month ago, I think. Got this in a estate sale, and I got it on half off day. They had two of them actually. I've only listed one, so the other one I'll list now that this one's sold. And they had, I think when I saw him, there was a guy in the room working, and he's like, yeah, those are 30 bucks a piece. And then when I went to go pay, one of them had a tag of 24. So he's like, oh, okay, well, let's do 24 for both, and then half is $12 each. So I only have $12 into this thing. And it is just a super cool hat. You know, it's kind of like that sideways hat that Napoleon Bonaparte wore. I would try it on for you guys, but 7 3/8 is too small for my noggin. But yeah, this has the case, the hat. There's some extra little things in there, and it's sold for $79.99 free shipping. I've been getting some comments that I don't show packing enough on this channel, so we're gonna pack something real quick. And if there's any newbie resellers watching this, I'd say most seasoned resellers kind of already know about poly bags, but if there's any newbies watching this, maybe they don't. So we are going to pack this Nike jacket. I've got a poly bag right here. We're just going to stick it in the poly bag, slide it in there, and seal it up. And it is really that simple. If you're shipping clothing, something like that, don't overthink it. Put it in a poly bag, it's good to go. Put it on our scale, and it is right at 12 ounces. Now, if you guys are like me, I get nervous, Nelly, that when this is at the post office, their scale might be like ever so slightly off from mine. So I usually round up. If it's like right at 12, I'm gonna round up to 13. If it was like 11.9, I would just stick with 12, but this makes me nervous. I don't want any kind of like upcharges or anything, so we're just gonna put 13 ounces on this thing. All right, I got one more packing tip for you guys today. I'm packing this Xavier Santa, and inside it has styrofoam. If I can get this thing open with one hand, that's always the trick, right? I'm trying not to rip this box. All right, let me put the camera down. All right, so this thing is already styrofoam packed, so it's not going to get damaged in transit. It's just, I mean, there's a possibility it could, sure, but it's highly unlikely. What we're going to do is close this back up, and I want to show you guys something. Whenever you are packing something that you're going to be using packing paper for, you could do it one of two ways. You could go ahead and tape up the bottom of this box and grab you some packing paper and fill it in there, and then put your box in there and hope that you put the right amount of packing paper in. Or you could put the box, you could not tape the bottom. Second option is not taping the bottom. Put the box in the box like this, and right away you know how much space you have for packing paper. All right, so I've got about an inch maybe. So I don't need a ton of packing paper. I'll probably fill some in on the sides here. But my point is, I'll put a little bit of packing paper on top here, and then I will tape up the top, and then I will flip it upside down. My bottom is still untaped, and I'll know how much space I have to put packing paper in here. So yeah, just a little packing tip for you guys. It's Friday morning. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I've got 15 orders to ship out today, and first thing is right here. I got this at Goodwill about a week ago. It is a Ashley Black fascia blaster. It kind of like loosens up muscles, I think. Somebody watching this knows more about it. I'm sure they could leave a comment below. But this one has 4 different prongs. You'll see a picture when I put up the screenshot. They have some that have like 6, 7, 8 prongs, I think. And essentially, the more prongs they have, the more valuable they are. This one I paid $8 for. It sold for $39.99 free shipping. All right, I sold the last of these Ohio State Rivalry figurines with the Michigan players hanging on to the guy. These things are so cool. The game is tomorrow, so yeah, it's perfect timing that I found these, and I figured they would probably sell pretty quick. I had about, what did I say? I think it's like between 20 and 30 into each of these, and this one sold for the same price as the other, $79.99 free shipping. Coming to A33 next, and I'm going to grab the whole box because I sold more than one thing out of here. I just made a big buy from an auction that was about 2,000 DVDs and Blu-ray and 4K discs, and I started listing them. This box is what I've listed so far, and we have sold The Revenant. Where is The Revenant? Here it is. With Leo, that sold for $11.99 free shipping. I should clarify too, I've got about 15 cents into each DVD. Let's see, we also sold the Mickey Mouse in Living Color 10 case. These are really cool. These are the Disney Treasures. They come in a steel case, and they do pretty well. This one sold for $26.99 free shipping. I sold Caligula right here for $13.99 free shipping. I sold Hard Boiled. Where's that at? Right here. That sold for $12.99 free shipping. And I sold Angel Heart is the last one we're pulling out of here. For $19.99 free shipping. I know what you're thinking to yourself, $11.99, $13.99 free shipping, you're not making much money. And you're absolutely right. After fees and shipping, I'm probably only gonna make, I don't know, $3 or $4, you know, somewhere between like $3 and $6 on those couple cheap ones that I sold. But with DVDs, the work is so minimal. I was drafting DVDs while I was watching college basketball the other night, so I didn't have a lot of time into those. And then taking a quick picture and putting them in a bubble mailer. It's quick, it's easy. For me, it's worth the time and money to sell those at that price, but I understand that it's not worth it for everyone. The other thing that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, when you're trying to figure out if something is going to be worth your time to list, you really need to factor in the boost that it's going to have on the rest of your eBay store. What I mean by that is it has been proven. I mean, there's enough evidence of all these different eBay sellers, myself included, knowing that when we list things, it's triggering the algorithm to boost your overall sales. So if you list an item that has a good sell-through rate, is in demand, it's not just junk, you will see a boost in your sales, period. I'm not going to pretend to tell you that if you list 2 items, you're going to get 5 sales or anything like that. But time and time and time again, everyone has noticed this. So when you're thinking about, well, I'm only going to get $12 free shipping for this DVD, but it does sell, it's going to sell, and that extra item that I'm listing in my store is going to help the overall health of my store, it's going to help other things sell. So just take that into consideration when you're thinking about whether or not something is worth listing. I'm not telling you to just list a bunch of crap so that other things in your store will sell. Do not do that. Only list things that you're confident will sell. But if it's on the verge of like, I don't know if it's worth my time to only sell it for $12, keep that little nugget in consideration. Coming to C61 next, I sold a camera. It is the Sony Cybershot that I just picked up at an estate sale. I think it's been 2 weeks now. Let's see. I think the model is DSC W70. Had the charger, 2 batteries, owner's manual, all that fun stuff. And I only had to pay $12.50 for this. It sold for $99.99 free shipping. Okay, going to D52. This is something I took an offer on. This is a big lot of Mac tools that I got at auction, and I've got very little into this. This one is the AWP 038. I thought I labeled these, but it doesn't look like I did. But looking at the picture, it is definitely this one. Yeah, you can kind of see the P038 there. This one I took a best offer of $40 free shipping. Coming to B32 next, and I sold a pair of tiny Atari control sticks right here. The pair sold for $19.99, free shipping. Going to C52, I saw a sweater, 2XL, and this is my last one of that size. No hood on this one, so it sold for $29.99, free shipping. Okay, going to D51, I sold a Great Courses Understanding Multivariable Calculus. Right here, we have the DVD and the guidebook. This is part of that big buy I made at that garage sale where I bought like 400 plus Great Courses pieces, and I've got less than $1 into these. The pair sold for $59.99, free shipping. And just a friendly reminder, be on the lookout for the Great Courses. Not every single one of them is valuable, but a good portion of them are definitely worth selling. Coming to D22 next, I sold a Travis Matthew polo. This is also part of the embroidery deal where all the sweatshirts and stuff came from. This one was new with the tag, sold for $39.99, free shipping. Going to A42, and I sold the Star Wars poster. When I showed this on my Cincinnati Flipper channel, I originally was seeing comps of about $200, but mine was just in much, much worse shape. That $200 one was absolutely mint. And most of the other ones were going for around like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 bucks. I decided to list mine because of how bad condition it was in for $49.99, free shipping, and that's what it sold for. Last thing I'm shipping is in D21. It's a power cord for an Atari. Should be this one right here. Let's see, what's our code? CO14319. That's it. Sold for $19.99, free shipping. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.